What is up, YouTube? This is DBZ49 coming at you with my Unchained first place deck profile, my locals. I'll tell you my matchups real quickly. First of all, I played against Dragon Links. Then the next round I played Dinos. My third round I played Cyber Dragoons. And then finally played Dinos again. I nearly 2-0'd every single person. And Dinos is by far one of the hardest matchups for this deck. And the fact that I was able to trample over that was a big success. Also, just wanted to apologize for not updating my Unchained deck profile last format. The reason being is because going first, I was playing like Trap Variant, Live Twins and stuff, and although there's some cool interactions there, I just didn't think that that was the proper build to like win big events. Whereas I truly believe that Unchained is meant to go second to break boards, establish boards, and especially in this format now where it's combo heavy again, this is where Unchained thrives. And without any further ado, let's get on with the deck profile, starting off with the monsters. First off, obviously, we played the One Disaster. Card's pretty insane. Pretty much, target one card your opponent controls and link it away for a Dark Link monster. And if this card would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can special summon a Unchained monster from your graveyard. So it's pretty good. The only time I'd run 2 copies of this is if I'm playing Desires. That's for a very budget variant, but you don't want to see this card in your opening hand. You do have cards like Fantastical to shuffle it back. But anyways, moving forward, we played the one Abominable Unchained Soul. Just wanted to tell people why I play 1 and not 2. I was on the fence because of cards like Ice Dragon's Prison, Call by the Grave, and Shaddoll Aerial. Because if this card gets banished, it's kind of hard to win, to be honest. But this card does a lot for the deck. You can discard a card on special summon to destroy one card in the field, so it forces your opponent to activate cards, and it can essentially recur itself when it brings it back. When it brings itself back from the graveyard, it gets sent to the bottom of the deck. So that's why I play only one of this. Next, we play the triple Aruha. So pretty much in your hand, you can destroy. If this card's in your hand, you can special summon by destroying one card inside the field. And if you do, you're locked into Fiend Monster for the rest of the turn. And all the Unchained monsters have the same clause that if they were to be destroyed by a battle card effect, you can special summon an Unchained monster from your hand or your deck. So this essentially is your combo starter. You always want to see this or Rakea in your opening hand along with the Trap Unchained card. Next, we play the triple Rakea. So pretty much, it's a quick effect, and during other player's turn, you can target one card inside the field, destroy it. And if you do, you're locked into Fiend monsters. But the thing is like if they were to like Imperm or Veiler your Sarama, you can quick effect use this to destroy your Sarama so that their card would fizzle and Sarama will still go through. There's another neat interaction with this with Nibiru. So Nibiru Chainlink 1, this is Chainlink 2. Since you're locked into Fiend monsters, Nibiru would just sack everything on the field. And you'll still have the Nibiru in your hand for next turn, and then you can still float. Since you're using Rakea's effect to potentially pop another card, so that's pretty cool. Next, we play my personal favorite, Triple Sarama. So essentially, you target one Unchained card from your graveyard, set it to your side of the field, and destroy one card in your field besides this card. So essentially, gets you what you need from your graveyard and further along your plays. The OTK combo is Sarama, Rakea, Aruha on field, and then you can attack 3 times, and then use Rakea to pop. Sarama, Aruha, and then summon Abominable Soul, and then use his effect to pop another Unchained monster you control to special summon another Unchained monster, so that will swing for 8,500. Another cool thing about this deck is that it's you can easily play around Nibiru every single time, and cards like Lightning Storm and a lot of side deck cards nowadays like Lancia and Joel and Lockbird and things like that, they don't really hurt you. And so people don't know how to side against this deck, which is amazing. So moving forward for the hand traps, we do play the triple Phantazmay. By far my favorite hand trap of all time. Reason is because now it's that everyone's playing Link monsters. This card is for the most part live and can get you what you need. Shuffle back the bricks, and this is just a body to run over stuff or to link climb into cards like BLS. So that's pretty cool, and the targeting effect is very underrated that can protect your monsters. Next, we play Triple Nibiru, one of the most impactful hand traps right now. In a combo format, I think this card is absolutely necessary to main. Following up with that, we do play the Triple Dimensional Shifter. Card's insane. Pretty much if you drop this card, like your opponent is going to pass their turn. This card does hurt you because you do want to see some cards in your graveyard so that you can make Sarama live. But by then, you're just trying to establish control, and you don't want to like banish your own card, Abominable Stone or Disasters. But yeah, and also it can be a brick mid to late game, but you'll just use it as discard fodder. Next, we do play the triple Ash Blossom for obvious reasons. And then we played this interesting package right here. Alpha, Pankratops, and Gameciel, one of each, and I'll explain why. So initially I was playing cards like Valor and stuff like that, but I realized that this deck had kind of a hard time to get over monsters or to OTK, and these cards just cause a lot of pressure for your opponent. And they're, I believe, more impactful than like niche hand traps and Crow and Valor. Although they are good and they are viable and you can still play them, I would just prefer having that body on board and to cause disruptions. Next we play triple Abomination's Prison, the Roto for the deck. Pretty cool. The only bad thing about this is that you can't set it with Sarama, because it's not an Unchained card, unfortunately. Next, the most broken card ever created in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, and that is Pot of Prosperity. This card's absolutely broken in this deck. Reason is because you can choose the cards from your extra deck to banish, so you don't have to worry about not having your resources. But we'll get to that in a little bit. You can't draw for the rest of the turn, so it does conflict with like Extravagance and Phantazmay, but you live with those. Also, it gets the card that you need, and it does have battle damage, but you could use it in your main phase too to do full damage if you don't really need to use it. And also, you don't have to use it on your start of the main phase. You can activate this whenever. So it's a very powerful card. It gets you cards like your Lightning Storms, your Dark Ruin No More, or whatever you need to break your opponent's board, so that's really insane. We do play the double Pot of Extravagance, so quickly, the reason why I run this 5-card ratio is because in a 6-card hand, assuming you're going second, the chances of you opening one of these cards is 57 to 58% chance. Whereas if I were just to run 3 Prosperities, it would be a 40% chance. But there is a 10% chance that I open 1 copy of Extravagance and 1 copy of Prosperity. But we live with those because the problem is with this deck is essentially is that it doesn't generate card advantage. So like decks like usually like plus a lot, like Heroes, for example, like they get to search and just have a lot of bodies on board or whatever, but this deck just floats, so it retains advantage, but it doesn't generate card advantage, if that makes sense. So in Yu-Gi-Oh! Card advantage is very critical to win games, and so that's why I wanted to focus my build on cards like Thanos and Prosperity, Extravagance to get the cards I need to break my opponent's board and establish control. And finally, for the traps, we do play the Triple Escape. Card is nuts. The fact that you can search it and then recycle it with Sarama is pretty cool to destroy your own card just to pop a card, whether it's like Mystic Mine or a UCT during a battle phase. This card's really nice. And finally, we do play the Triple Chamber. Non-targeting special summon from hand or graveyard is pretty cool. But essentially, you want to open with one of these cards in your hand and a Rakea or Aruha to do your combos. And that is it for the main deck. That is 40 cards. And yeah, moving on, let's start with the side deck. We do play Triple Droll. I was debating to main this card over like Pankratops and Alpha Beast and Gameciel and stuff. And I might actually, because this card's just really nutty right now. It hits almost every single of the top decks and some rogue decks. And if you notice, I'm playing the most impactful cards to go second. Because, like I said about card advantage, right? You could play Valor, DD Crow, and like stop a card or whatever, but cards like Droll and Shifter just outright stop your opponent from playing. So that's pretty cool. And another reason why I wanted to main this was because I wanted to make room for something that helped me go first, something like a summon limit. Super Polymerization is actually a nice target now because a lot of decks get hit by Super Poly, but the fact that I'm playing Extravagance, I cut the Super Poly for those. Torrential Tribute is also a valid option. And yeah, but this card does conflict with Shifter. And also, if you notice, like, for the most part, Thanos, I kind of run my hand traps based on Thanos and not have conflicting cards with it. I do in my side deck, and you'll see in a little bit. But I'll explain that later. Triple Artifact Lancia, this card is just absolutely nutty right now. Some people are just mania because it's that good. Triple Dark Ruin No More for obvious reasons to stop combo boards. Next we do play Triple Lightning Storm, so this does conflict with Phantazmay, but some of the times like Phantazmay is not good against like control decks, so you would side these in for the Phantazmay, but Lightning Storm is good against like Bird Up or stuff like that. But you just want to see, because you're not like guaranteed to open Phantazmay every time, so you just want to see good cards in your hands. And then we do play Triple Evenly Match, amazing against the Rogue, good against some of the top decks. It's just one of the most impactful going second cards right now. So that is it for the side deck. Moving forward with the extra deck, we do play the one Accesscode Talker. This card's actually like really nice in this deck. So let me just tell you a neat interaction I did. My opponent had Unicorn and I had Rage, so I went ahead and summoned Accesscode Talker with 5,300 attack, and the dinosaur player could not get over this, so that was really funny. But yeah, this card's pretty cool. You can use Anguish to link up to get to this guy. We do play the new card, the Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. This card is actually kind of easy to summon this deck because you just need 3 monsters on your field, one of them being Disaster. So you use Disaster to link 1 card from your opponent. You'll have a Rage and 2 monsters, and then you can just summon this card. So it's pretty cool to like break boards with this card. And yeah, moving on, we do play the one BLS Link monster. This card's now more easy to summon because we do run we special summon more monsters, especially with level 7 or higher, so it's indestructible. Some decks just cannot deal with this. Next, we do play the one Linkuriboh. This card was like MVP of the local tournament, and people keep asking me why you play this. It's literally because of Lost World. That card by itself causes so much problems, and Linkuriboh just outright shuts down that card and allows you to target stuff, and then can make like UCT attack 0, and you can just keep using its quick effect to sack the token, so that's pretty cool. Next, we do play double Unchained Abomination. The reason why we're running a high ratios for the Unchained monsters is because we do play the double Extrav, in which I do side out 1 copy of Extrav depending on the matchup I'm playing against. So that if we do banish like multiple copies of a card and still have 1 of it left, that's fine. Next, we do play triple Anguish. Yeah, I mean, during your turn, you can target 1 card, target 1 monster your opponent controls and link it away. And if this card were to die, you can recycle a Unchained monster from your, or actually I think a Fiend monster from your graveyard to your hand. So that's pretty cool. And then obviously the triple Rage, because this card is probably the best Unchained Link monster. During your opponent's main phase, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls and link it away for a Dark Link monster, and also has the same effect of Anguish. When it dies by battle card effect, you can recycle a Fiend monster and add it to your hand. And finally, we do play triple Unicorn in tandem with the Raid, so you can target 1 card, special summon monster from your opponent, link into like Unicorn, and then use Unicorn to shuffle something else away. So essentially like an IP Masquerena kind of thing, and to help break and destroy boards. And this is like another thing to keep in mind is that this deck can go first, so if someone makes me go first, I'm totally comfortable. So like you can just sit on Rage and trap cards and hand traps and stuff, and just make your opponent not play the game. But yeah, any changes I would make would just be like if I wanted to like main the Drolls and like side in cards like Summon Limit to help me go first, because a lot of people did make me go first. But yeah, that is the end of the deck profile. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions or anything like that, please post it down below in the video. I read all your comments and try to give the best feedback that I can. Please hit the like and subscribe button and have a nice day.